Hey everyone, welcome back to Lash Boss Radio. I'm Shelby, your host, and today I'm joined by some of my favorite guests I've ever had on the show, Paul and Tussanee over from Lashcast. They have one of the best lash podcasts. We've been kind of doing podcasts for the same amount of time. They
Yeah.
also are the organizers of Lashcon, and they have been building Lashcon for the last several years. And so we're going to be talking actually about the future of Lashcon and some exciting news that we have to share towards the end. So stick around and welcome to the show, Paul and Tussanee.
Thanks, Shelby. That
Thank
was so sweet.
No, we love you and we love everything you've been doing. And it's so exciting that our journeys really almost started at the same time as far as podcasting, events, all that stuff. So
I know.
we feel like you're our real confidant bestie that we can always come to and talk to because you know that all of our pain. We own salons too. So there's so many commonalities and things that we hold, I think, dear that makes you really special to us.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you guys launched your podcast like a month before mine. And at the
Yeah.
time, like I had been touting, like I have the first Lash podcast, and we've told this story before,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been cool to get to support you guys with how much y'all have grown and everything that you guys have done for the industry. And yeah, I feel like we talk pretty often just about, we do have a lot of common. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and what's cool is just to see longevity here. We've been doing this for now, both of us for over 7 years. As far as podcasts go, that's like eternity because most people do it for like 6 months and they quit. That's the normal thing, and that you're still kicking it, still doing it, is a real shows your character. Just shows your determination, which
The grit.
and the
It shows
grit.
the
Yeah,
grit, the longevity. You're in it
yeah,
for the long game.
yeah,
Same with you guys. I mean, you guys have put out way more episodes than I have, and I know how hard it is to just keep it going and, just yeah, always come up with new topics and new guests and just everything that goes into one episode, researching the guest and finding a guest and scheduling the guest and all of that. So yeah, I know how hard you guys work. And same thing can be said about events too. You guys started Lashcon, was it 7 years ago or 6 years
yeah.
ago?
Well, we're going on our
Our
seventh
seventh
season,
year.
so yeah,
So
2019 was our first year, but this will be our seventh LashCon. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Yeah, I feel like in our industry specifically, there's events that happen and then they go away after a
Yeah.
few times. And to be able to have grown it to the level you guys have is a huge accomplishment. And so, yeah, you guys are great. And me throwing an event myself, I know how much work goes into that too.
Yeah, no, yeah, I say most events last 2, 3 years. They do it. First year is always the optimist where, oh my gosh, we're doing an event. And so they're all excited. And then, as you know, this too, and we did too, our first 2 years, there's no money in the bank at the end of the conference. You're like, okay, so
no.
I guess I did that for free. And it wasn't until my third year where I made, I like to say, a McDonald's salary. And then, even then, that's why most people don't keep going because everyone thinks, oh, how hard can it be? It's just some people sitting in a room talking. And then you find out if you want to make it good, though, it takes a little bit more than just having a room and some people talking.
It's kind of a small metaphor for honestly anything, like, even like doing lashes or having a small lash business, how hard can it be? But
Yeah.
there's systems and there's things that you don't know going into it that you learn through the grit and through the determination, salon ownership, how hard can it be?
Yeah.
I'm just going to make
That's
it
the hardest, by the way, I think, salon ownership. But yeah.
right. You think, oh, I'm gonna be the cool salon owner. I'm not gonna run it the same way that I had when I was, working in the biz. And I'm gonna do it different. And then just to find out that, oh no, you're the same. I'm speaking from experience. We did the same thing. We built a system that wasn't that great, and then we had to go back to the drawing board and figure it out.
And
It's
blow it
like,
up.
yeah. So you learn by sticking with it and having that determination and carrying on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can vouch for that. Yes,
Right.
to all of it.
Yeah.
The first thing I wanted to ask about was the theme for this year. It's so fun. Y'all have always had themes though, but they've usually been something like the long game is the theme
Yeah.
for this year, or connection or something is the theme
Yeah.
for this year. So can you talk about the theme for this year?
Yeah, no, this year when we were thinking about it, and I want to give credit where credit's due. It was really serious business that we went to, which we went with you one year, and they always did a theme, and we were like, you know what, it would be really cool to help guide every year, find a pain point in our industry, or find a strategy I think that would help people with their business and make that the theme. So in the past, it was like the long game, shoot, ready, aim, and which are basically, these are life phrases I say all the time. Like, we're playing the long game right now, or we're just right now, we're shoot, ready, aim. We're just gonna just jump out of the plane and build a parachute on the way down, right? So that's always been our mind. But we got to this year, and some changes happen because we brought more team members on to help us. And there's something really fun that happens when you have like 4 or 5 people in a room thinking of an idea versus having me. It's like,
Well, it's like
yeah,
many brains, added to the problem can add more
perspective, right?
imagination,
Yeah.
more contribution to it.
And so we sat down and we brought on, and this is exciting news if people didn't know, Christina Fard, former executive director of ALA. And we brought in her sister, Francesca, too, who's also just
She is the
talent.
unsung hero.
Yeah, she
man.
really is. Like,
She's the one that like makes the ideas happen.
yeah, she's an executor. And then we also have Ella, who's been helping with Clubhouse as as our producer for Lashcon, or Lashcast, is now also our project coordinator for this. So we have all these new players, and when we got together, we started talking about the theme. And it just kind of was one of these things that snowballed. Like, we just a little idea here, a little idea. I don't even know where the actual theme idea came from. I think that maybe I had in my notes like Lash Quest, but I didn't know what to take with it. It was just an idea. And then everyone said, well, what if we do this? What if we do this? And so it just unfolded and unraveled. And it really, all of a sudden, it kind of clicked, because one of the things I like to say, I'm the lash industry's historian. And I look at I've been in the industry for 20 years. I've watched it from the beginning. I know all the big moves, the big failures, the successes, the things that happen. I mean, when brow lashes were a big deal for like 6 months
Brow
before
extensions.
brow extensions, they crash and burn. And so, and really, our theme came out. This is a reaction, I'll say, to COVID. After COVID, we went through a season where everyone felt like, well, I can't work, or I can't make money, so I better have a side hustle. I better have money in another way. Because
I want to be making money while I'm sleeping. I don't want to be making money only when I'm doing services. I
Yeah.
have to
Stop
have
trading your time for money.
yeah, stop trading your
Yes,
time for
yes.
money. Yeah, all these little catchphrases
multiple
that
streams
sounded,
of income.
yeah, they sounded smart. They sounded like the right thing, especially when some of us, like Tuss, couldn't work for 8 months, right? So when you've been told you can't make money, you start thinking about other ways to make money. What a shock. And so that played into this thing. And then the all the vultures came, right? All the people who saw this as a money making opportunity to exploit our industry showed up at the door and started selling it. Coaching, training, events, all this stuff. And some were good. Like, I'm not saying all were bad, but just everyone, so many people moved into online training, online
Or
classes. I mean,
MMRs.
all the people who swore I will never do an online class back in 2019, like, online classes are evil. I can't believe now everyone was offering an online class, even the people who said they never would in the past. So it was this onslaught of stuff, and this idea of making money through multiple streams became the kind of the anthem,
The mantra.
and mantra. And what happened along the way is we forgot what we were here for. We're here as lash artists to do lashes. That's what got us into this in the first place. We're here to serve our community. If everyone's teaching and selling trainings and coaching, then there's no one doing lashes, and there's no way that this industry is going to survive, right? It's just going to die from it, like, consuming its own tail. So instead, what we said, you know what, this year we need to celebrate lash artistry again. We need to go back and let people know it's okay to say, I'm just a lash artist, because you're not just a lash artist. You are an artist who is making a difference, making an impact, changing lives, making women feel beautiful, look beautiful, empowering them, doing so much to serve and lift up our community.
And serving your family,
Yeah.
providing a living for your family. That's amazing.
Yeah. So these are all noble causes and noble ambitions and things that you should want to pursue. And we're tired of saying, hey, it's not enough if you're just a lash artist. You need to be a trainer. You need to be a brand owner. You need to be a coach. You need to be an influencer. You need to be something else. And most lash artists are just overwhelmed. I mean, we've had so much burnout these last couple of years from people working all day and then going home at night and working all night and doing that 7 days a week, hoping that make a little more money. The truth is, a lot of them make less money than if they just had stuck with lashes and focused on their craft and became the best at what they did. Instead of they are right now trading all their time for money for a second or a third job. And that's the big lie that's been sold to everyone, is that you're not just going to be doing one job. You're going to do a second job and then another job, and you're going to have to market those jobs, and you're going to have to do all this hustling just to maybe make another few $1,000 in the end. And it's just, we're tired of it. We've come full circle here. It's time to come back and get back to basics and go, all right, you know what? We want to lift you up. We want to celebrate you. We want you to know you're enough and that you could be a lash artist for 20, 30 years.
You sure can.
Yeah, because some people also just ever say, oh, can't be a lash artist for more than 5 years. That's it. After 5 years, you're done. Your back's going to be done. And like, not if you have good ergonomics, not if you have the right equipment. Not if, I mean, Tussanee has been doing literally 20 years this month.
This
Yeah.
month
when
is
she started.
20 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before, this idea that you usually don't hear your hairstylist say, I'm trying to come up with my own line of hair products and shampoos and stuff, or you
Yeah.
don't hear your nail artists say that they need their own line to feel successful. Those industries have been around much longer. So I think what will end up happening is, especially with more conversations like these and more realizations being had among the industry, we are going to see it simmer down and us really embracing these careers that we have all chosen and at one point loved so much. And it's like we've been told not to love that. So then we start feeling this cognitive dissonance, like of, wait, am I really unhappy? And am I not doing enough? Am I not enough? And so I think it's a great thing. I love this theme. And you guys went full out with it.
Yeah.
Right before.
Nerdville.
Well, we really want to make it, coming to Lashcon is fantastic because you build your skills. It's an investment in yourself. And Lashcon's always been fun, but this year we're really ratcheting up the fun level. I mean, I don't know if you guys went to summer camp, but it was, fun. I mean, that's kind of the vibe that we're trying to bring back where,
we have some, I will say we're digging deep into some summer camp ideas. Can't share all of them now because actually I don't have permission from Christina yet. We've been talking about how much do we reveal because we have all these things we want to do, and some things are like absolutes. We're going to do them. Some are wish lists because we have to sell a certain amount of tickets before we can afford certain things. But we are doing, I will say, some summer campish fun things that will make it very immersive and very much about building community. And we're going to find even more ways for you to bond and connect with your fellow lash artists so that you don't just come to LashCon and get stuck in a room, listen to speakers, and then walk away and don't really know anyone. We're going to really create even more avenues for you to connect with people. That's one of the things that LashCon at its core is, but most important value is like, I want you when you come to LashCon to not even have to try to make friends. We're going to create opportunities where you're going to be pulled into friendships and connections so that it's very not awkward. Like it's really weird when you have to sit at a round table and everyone doesn't know anyone. And if you're shy, it's a nightmare, right? You're just like, oh crap, I don't know anyone here. I'm uncomfortable. That doesn't happen at LashCon. We actually create little games, little ways where you're forced to go up to someone and go, hi, I'm Paul. What's your name? I'm that. And we have these little things and we're going to do more of that. I can't wait. The stuff we're thinking of, I think it's going to make it just super, super fun, interactive and all that.
Yeah. And the same way of learning new skills and learning things, it's going to be gamified, shall I say. So even just like making friends is kind of gamified.
Yeah, we want to come up and we don't know how. I'll be honest. Some things we have our plans. We don't know how we're going to do them yet because they're not easy to pull off. But we definitely want to come up with a way. Just as Tessa's idea, she always wanted to have a place where you can learn skills, but not just like you go to the classroom, you learn a class, you see maybe a demo, and that's great. But wouldn't it be even better if we could get a chance where you could actually get your hands on something and try a new technique or try a new style or a new way of approaching lashing? And Tussanee has all these things that she's thought of over the years. Like, this is how I do this. This is how I do this. She loved to create stations or some place where you can go and someone can walk you through and show you how to do it. So when you leave Lashcon, not only are you going to learn some stuff in your head, but you're going to hopefully learn some things you can do with your hands. And that's been something we're really hoping
Not
to
just your hands, but your brain
brain
and
and everything.
mouth, and being
Yeah.
able to be more professional.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a cool little interactive things like that.
It's every single year has gotten better and better and better. And you think this is it. Like, it can't get any better than this. And you guys continuously think of more ways to make it better for the attendee. And something that you guys were talking about on the advisory meeting yesterday, which we can also talk about.
Yeah.
But something that you said was how much Lashcon is not about anything but the attendees. It has never been about the speakers. And I remember that from the beginning, you talked about how this is not going to be some parade for the speakers to fluff up their egos and everything. It's not about the sponsors. It's really just about, it's not about you two either. You guys say that a
Yep.
lot as well. But yeah, it's about the attendees. And I think that's why it has grown so much, is because people can feel that. And I think too, if you've never been to a Lash event or you've never been to Lashcon, you should just try it and you'll see what everyone's talking about. It's crazy how many people go to Lashcon, but that's still such a small percentage of all of the industry.
It's true. I mean, there, in any industry, like, hair or nails, there's always like big events. And while most people will know about them, only a tiny fraction of people actually invest, because a lot of people are just really busy, heads down, doing their work. But those who, take the time to move out of a comfort zone to go and be a part of the bigger industry, I think those are the ones that really demonstrate a deep level of professionalism, of wanting to be better, of wanting to create or gain more mastery of something. So people that, with anything, with any kind of skill, those who make the extra effort to invest in it, I think reap the rewards, because of the networking and all the opportunities that are available at a conference. It only builds you up, but it's remarkably a small percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's unique about any event, and for anyone listening who's like, well, exactly, that's why I don't go. Yeah, it's for these aggressive, really top people who really want to go out there and move into shakers. And there is truth to that. But I also
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people there that discover and find their passion what they're at Lashcon, and they discover what they're really about, and they find that inner kind of like, I was about to say tiger, but whatever that inner that thing inside them they didn't know was there. Like they find they have a voice. They find that they matter. They find they have community. They find that they can contribute. Like so many of us downplay ourselves. Oh, I can't do this, or I'm not that good, or I'm not that important. And all of a sudden you get there and you meet some people and feel like, well, what you just said is really interesting. I've never seen it that way before. And you really all of a sudden now have a little bit more you can contribute. There's so many people, and this is not just for our event, it's also with Lash Boss, where people could go back and say, that's when my career started, when I went to that event.
So it's like, I don't want you to think, it's Lashcon's a place to go to when you've arrived, like when you've
Yeah.
achieved a certain kind of level of professionalism. No, I mean, yes, that's part of it.
It
However,
can be.
it can be, but actually, I think if you think about it more as a catalyst, it's like you go to this event to be part of this event, and through you going and just walking through it, it catalyzes, it changes, it shows you opportunities and gives you opportunities that you didn't know that you had before by being just alone. And so for the gal who's maybe like frustrated, she's fried, she's like banging her head on the wall thinking, I can't just keep doing this, and I think I might even get out of it. This is for you, because it can give you that lift, that wind between your wings,
Yes.
and
To my ears.
be a shot in the arm to change you and give you a new perspective. Be like, I really can do this. or if you are thinking, I don't know what I can bring. What else do I have? It can satisfy wherever you're at in your journey. It can boost you. It can lift you. It's more of a transformation opportunity.
I think if you're just burnt out, and this is the number one thing I always tell people when it comes to burnout, it's because you're doing the same thing over and over and over. And you're not seeing any growth. You're not seeing any new ideas. You're just kind of stuck in a rut, right? And after a while, you say, well, I guess it's the rest of my life. I'll never do anything different. And then what you want to beat that? You want to get some recharge. Well, how you do that is by going to an event, and whether it's Lash
Mhm.
Boss, Lashcon, our events will inspire you. You will leave so excited, so pumped up, so ready to take on the world. It just changes everything. For us, when we have salon, we had to get out twice a year minimum to shows, trade shows, beauty conferences for that sole purpose to get that charge, to get that shot in the arm.
Okay, so I just want you to think. This was a word picture or vision picture came to my head. You know how we use cyanoacrylate, right? We use a glue, right? You put it out on the dot, and that glue, in order for it to transform from a liquid into a plastic, a hard solid, it needs the water, right, to catalyze. Well, the same thing, in order to kind of grow and like reach your new potential, your liquid, right? You need that catalyst of a conference, of connection, of opportunities to be with other people, so that it can change who you are and transform you into a polymer.
Yeah.
No, I just meant like change you into plastic.
To
No,
plastic,
no,
yeah.
it's transformative.
Let's all be fake. Be
It's
plastic.
and I think people underestimate how, yeah, it is really just that easy. Like, it to break up the monotony and just go to be around other lash artists and go to an event where they really do care about your experience. Just that will be enough to, like, put a fire underneath you to kind of inspire you for the next several months.
Yeah.
And Lash Boss Summit and Lashcon are kind of like 6 months apart, so we're like, "This is perfect." They're like
Yeah.
kind of spaced to where we've got you in the spring, we've got you in the fall. So I want to ask two things about the Lashcon experience for this year. One,
Yeah.
something kind of that I know y'all's perspective and y'all's train of thought with choosing speakers. Like, who are people going to be listening to? Because that actually matters a great deal to someone's experience. I would love to hear y'all speak about that, and then also just any new other things that you guys are excited
Yeah.
about for this year.
Yeah, I mean, the speaker thing is always a touchy one. It's actually probably the most painful part of our process, because I know I'm going to let someone down. Someone who loves Lashcon, who's been supportive of Lashcon and just cares about what we care about, and I can't get everyone in. Like, literally,
But here's the thing. Like, I want you to listen to what he's about to say, and it's kind of like being a lash artist. The skills take a while. It takes some grit to stay in it. So what I just want to encourage you is the process. It takes some grit, right? For those who we choose. And if you stay in it, you will learn. You will be refined by it. So don't give up so easily. So go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, we just last week, or yeah, about 4 or 5 days ago, we reached out to all the speakers who had applied, who did not, and it was a long list of people, and it's heartbreaking, because I know for them, this is some people, really, really, not some, all of them were putting it as a high value. They took time to fill out an application, write their talk. We don't just say, "Give me your name." We have an application process that starts every November and it goes to January. So it's like 3 months where people are writing out their talks, their ideas, their key points, sending us video clips of themselves and all that. So it's very extensive, and I read everything, and we really try to make sure that we understand what they're trying to say. Look at their video, look if they've spoken before, because one of the things that's really special about Lashcon is I feel like we've really launched a lot of people's careers through Lashcon. A lot of people who were just little baby lash artists came to Lashcon, and we found them, and then they now are influencers, and then they're making a big difference in the industry. And we were part of that journey, which we're so grateful for. And we always want to try to find us the new people. We're not just looking for the proven big names out there, because that's fine. But at the same time, we like to see some of the new names that are making some noise on Instagram, or really doing some cool stuff on TikTok or YouTube. And
So if you're new and you perhaps have never spoken, or I want you to remember it's a process. We want you to be able to deliver a very powerful message. So part of that, you might not be at that place today, but you can be tomorrow
Yeah.
or the next year. And that process, it takes a little while. Just like when you first started learning lashes, it takes a while to build those muscle memory and that skill. So part of the process is that we want you to invest in yourself. If it's a no today, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Part of it is like we want you to continue to grow and build those skills. Like I remember the first time that we applied for an award, we didn't win at all for the first year, but what it did was it really helped us to think, what do we need to do? What are the
We
things
need
that
to
we need to do
change.
to
Yeah.
change to get that? And so the next year when we applied, we did win.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, the process is so getting back to the process. So that when people apply, it is through the application process. But we do also ask some people. I mean, we're watching on Instagram, YouTube. We're always looking for lash artists. We're trying to make a difference. And if we see someone has a unique voice, has a unique angle, then we approach them and ask them. So some of our speakers didn't even apply, but a lot more this year. This year, a lot of our speakers came from applications. We were very happy to lean more into that. And we're getting a bigger spectrum of people applying it. It's making it exciting to look through that list and go and find people. Like our first year, no one applied because we didn't have an application. We just had to pick people we liked. I mean, we had Shelby, we had some other people, right? But we always wanted to find a new talent. I'm always asking people, hey, who are you watching right now who's really unique, who's making some noise? Like, we met Rebecca Piccolo last year at an event, and she didn't speak as an official Lashcon speaker, but she was on a sponsor, and she spoke at Lashcon last year, and that was really cool to see her grow. And now she's speaking like at every conference you can think of. So she's kind of blown up in the last year. So that's what can happen, but there's no direct pathway to it. There's no formula to it. There's no exact guarantee. All I know is that you got to stick at it. I mean, it took us 14 years before we ever got invited to speak anyway. 14 years. Most
guys.
people haven't been in the industry for like 10, let alone 14 years to be in it. And then finally, you know where we got invited? Oh, that was called Lashcon. I invited myself to speak
We
at
had
a
to create
conference.
the conference ourselves.
Yeah,
But, you
yeah.
know, so I want to encourage you. If you applied and the answer is no, it just means no this year.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not no forever.
Yeah.
I want you to keep honing those skills, keep growing, keep investing in yourself, keep continuing to come, keep part of the community, and you'll grow.
Yeah, this year we were excited because we have a mix of people you know and a mix of probably some people you have not seen too much. We have Kiara Riley, who was on our podcast this last year. She's amazing with marketing and business. So we're gonna have her on. Lacey Salem, who works along with us with training. She's amazing, but again, not has a brand maybe known in New York area, but not state nationwide. We actually have someone new from Strategies come. Her name's Jess Turgeson. I don't know if you know her or not, Shelby, but she's new on staff there. And actually, I believe she's won a ton of awards over the years. I recognize her face, but she's coming from Strategies.
You recognize her face?
Yeah, from the awards, from all the awards that she's won. I'm like, oh, I remember that. She's been on stage. She's won stuff.
Okay.
I recognize her face like there's a face I know. Anyhow, then we have Dr. Janice Luck coming. We have Ari Senenball. She's amazing. This gal is from New York, and she is just a little lash artist, but she is taken her salon, and over a period of just a few years, she was on our podcast, took like was it $20,000 and made it into $300,000 just like in 3 years through investing.
Yeah, and I hope that's an encouragement for all of us,
Yeah.
for all of you guys. Instead of like going off and like having a brand or doing this,
We really think the
or-
real way to make money is save and invest. Save and invest.
that's
If you
your
really
best
want to make
passive income.
passive income,
Yes.
that's passive. You don't really
That's
do anything.
really, yeah.
Everyone can do it. It's
Yeah,
totally
anyway.
inspiring.
We have Wednesday Wood, who was actually the last year award winner for Influencer of the Year. She's going to be speaking this year, so that's one of our bigger names. We have someone else probably don't know too well. People don't know about Mona Lisa McWell. She is going to be speaking and about AI and stuff. She's a really she actually was a sponsor last year and presented me a talk with AI that I was really excited about. And
And
then
Lita,
Lita,
she's
the
Lash
last
cheerleader or
cheerleader,
something.
she's also a new speaker. I don't think anyone's seen, but she actually spoke on our stage last year, our
Okay,
open mic.
you want to
She
share
did
about that?
open mic, and she was amazing. Went up there, was funny, affable, really had a sweet, a little 5-minute talk. She's actually going to take that same talk now and blow it up into a 1-hour talk. So
Okay, so this
yeah,
is
let's
an
talk about this. Yeah,
opportunity. For those at Lashcon, we have an open mic opportunity. And it's kind of like an audition.
it's a star search.
Yeah, it
Is
is
what
Star
it is.
Search. Yeah.
And we've had people in the past. Francesca Ramirez also 2 years ago was on that stage, and we picked her to be a speaker last year at Lashcon. So
So if you don't know about the open mic, you should really make a point to put it on your calendar.
Saturday
and be there.
afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon, the first day of Lashcon, and come prepared with some short 3-5-minute talk. Either me or Christina are going to be in the room. We're going to be there as kind of almost like your
Scout.
Simon Cowell. I'll be the judge there. I will not cut you down or make fun of you. I will listen intently, and we will, between us, basically mark down people who are interested in having come and maybe speak at Lashcon. So this is, if you want to get seen, this is one of your best bets is to come ready to speak at open mic and share a little tidbit, encourage your sisters and brothers with whatever business or lash technique you want to share. It just needs to be short and to the point and good. Dude, come prepared. Don't just riff it. I mean, some people do, but if you really take some notes, may just come up with a quick little outline, funny little story, and a real poignant kind of point, then I think your odds are going to be much better that
May
maybe
the
we'll
odds
select you.
be ever in your favor.
Yeah. One new thing, and now that actually, I'll just get a couple other things because I know we don't have endless time here. The other thing we're going to do, and this is really just the beginning idea. We were talking about, we've always wanted to do a Shark Tank at Lashcon, and so we decided we're not going to do Shark Tank. I think we're going to call it Lash Tank. I don't know. We'll call it something like that. Lash Tank probably sounds bad, but the idea is this: is we're not going to do investors because investing is I would be a concern that people will share their ideas and they're not trademarked and stuff will get stolen. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want anyone's ideas getting stolen. You really need to protect yourself and make sure there's NDAs involved. And I know that when you go on Shark Tank, all these people have patents on their stuff, right? They go on Shark Tank.
It's protected.
It's protected. So they can share about publicly knowing that if someone steals it, their patent, they can enforce it. But if someone came to Lashcon and shared a idea on stage and you have 1,000 people in the room listening, go, oh, wow, I'll do that. It's like all of a sudden you really, it's not helpful.
So it's not going to be investing, but what is it?
It is going to be about a mentorship program. So we want to offer mentorship. We're going to have, I know already 2 big names in our industry, people you highly respect have said they agreed to be part of it. We're hoping maybe get 2 more. And basically you'll be on Saturday morning. First you'll submit a video, right? You'll submit a video explaining who you are and why you should be selected and what you're trying to do. I mean, like we don't know all the parameters yet, but the idea is that you got to be hopefully a mover and shaker. If you're just like, I just go to work 1 day a week and then, I play with my dogs.
There's
that's
nothing
probably
wrong with that.
No, but it's not, these people want to invest in someone who is trying to push the envelope, who wants to either improve the way they do their business, if they want to do a brand, if they want to be a trainer, whatever they want to do.
Or if they have an idea or they have a product or whatever.
Something they need to, need some help. So these people who are all proven successful people, these are not small time. Hey, I have my last brand. I got 2 products or something like that. These are major players in our industry. And what they're going to do is we're going to vet first when everyone will submit their videos. And then out of those, we're going to select, I don't know how many, let's say maybe 5 or 6. And those 5 or 6 people will come to Lashcon. And on Saturday morning, our first day, you're going to go on stage and you're going to pitch these people live why you should be selected for the mentorship program. And then they'll have they'll be short, like 5-minute little segments. And then our guests will have a chance to ask questions, get clarity. And then later that night at the Lash Awards, we will announce the 2 or 3 winners who will be selected for the next member or to be mentored for us a year. And that membership or that mentorship starts the next day on Sunday. We're going to get a room, a suite, something where you'll go hang out. And for an hour or 2, you'll get to hang out with one of these mentors. Each mentor will pick one person because then they don't have time to mentor 18 people.
Kind of like The Voice.
Yeah. Kind of like The Voice. Think like The Voice, right? So they'll go to that room. They'll spend some time with them, ask them questions. And then I'm not sure how many times later in the year, but we're going to have at least a couple more times in the year where you'll check back in with them on a Zoom call, and they'll ask some more questions. You can ask them for more feedback. It's just a great way to get someone who's made a big moves in this industry, and it could be your catalyst to help you and guide you to that next step. And you never know, maybe you'll find a business partner. Like this could grow into something more. Like if they think you're amazing, they may be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so brilliant. Why don't you come and work with us? Or why don't you let me invest in you?" There's those opportunities
It's
could be there.
opportunity.
Yeah. So that's something. I actually, it's the cool. I think it's the coolest thing we're going to add
That
this.
is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here like smiling and wheels are turning. It's really a great idea. It'll be
Yeah.
huge. I love that.
Yeah, no, we're really, really jazzed. And I think that with the theme, with all the new gamifications, the way we're going to make it interactive, the open mic, we have 4 nights of parties. The trade show is going to be now just 2 days. So instead of being 3 days, we're going to have more focused trade show time. So on Saturday afternoon, it's always been 4 hours. You have and there's nothing else to do. Sometimes last artists, I've seen them go, "Oh, Saturday afternoon was kind of boring. There was no classes." I'm like, yeah, that's the trade show time. There are not supposed to be classes. We want that to be focused time for you to go by every booth and really find out what's new in the industry. Hopefully maybe find a new brand that you didn't know about. And this year we're really working hard, and I think we're making a little bit more movement on this. We're really trying hard to bring additional brands into Lashcon, not just lash brands, but maybe a skincare line and some other product lines that will help you with your business. So you'll have products that you can sell or services you can provide in the room, aside from lashes, because finding add-on services is your quickest way really to move and grow your business. If you have 10 clients and you get all of them to buy a second service, now you technically have 20, right? You just took that and doubled your revenue. So we were trying our best. And I think this is finally the year we're God willing, we're going to have maybe 10, 15, 20 booths that are just auxiliary services or things that you can help you with their business. Well, fingers crossed. That's still not finalized, so that's what we're working on. So, but Saturday afternoon, trade show only. And now Sunday afternoon this year is also going to be trade show only. We're going to shut down classes around 3 o'clock, and from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, it's just going to be go hang out on the trade show floor, meet people. We usually have a cocktail time during that time too, so you can get a drink and hang out with your friends and shop till you drop. And then Monday will be education only. Trade show wraps up Sunday, and then Monday it's just about education only, because a lot of our sponsors always say, "Man, I never get to classes. I'm so busy, and I'm always doing that. I really miss out on all that." And say, "Don't worry, that's okay, because Monday now you can just spend the whole day learning and decompressing after spending 2 days of selling and having some fun." And then, of course, the one thing that always makes Lashcon special is we have an app that allows you to watch the replay. No other event does this. And this allows you to be able to be a little more mindful about what you go to and not be afraid you're going to miss something, because there are multiple classes at the same time. You can go to whatever class you want, and then you can watch everything on the replay, every Lashcon class. We do have sponsor suites too, but those are not Lashcon classes, so we don't record those.
I
Yeah.
think, can we put a bid in to have it record the panels?
Panels are recorded. Yeah.
I'm heard.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Everybody's panels but mine.
No, your UV one was, yeah, absolutely. I can show you the video if you want to
I
see
did 2 Q&As that weren't.
it. Well, yeah, that's, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Sorry, we're talking about
Airing
shop
our
here.
laundry
Yeah.
there.
Well, we still have some really exciting news to share, but I think a good segue into that is the new advisory board that you guys are bringing on this year, and some things that you guys are introducing. I think we can use that as a good segue into kind of what the future of Lashcon will look like. Yeah. So take it away.
This is the brainchild of Christina Fard, because here's the thing. Me and Tuss are making a big pivot in our life. We're going to be moving actually in just a few weeks to Reno, and we're going to be working with TAD. And that's totally a new development that probably people are like, what's TAD? Well, that's the sister company to PLA. They are a DIY company. They are a consumer brand. So they're not even in lash extensions, so to speak. They're really a separate category. And we're going to be going there to help them launch it. I've been unofficially kind of consulting for TAD for a couple of years now. So for me, this is a chance to get more involved and help build a new brand, a new challenge, right? I've been doing Lashcon 7 years, and I'm going to continue, by the way. I'm not leaving Lashcon, but we're bringing more people. That's why we brought in Christina. That's why we bring Francesca, Ella, and other people we'll talk about in a second. So with that, us leaving in that sense and going to Reno, working with Tad, and
I just want to say, so
yeah.
I'm going to be a consultant. So
Yeah, Tuss can be a consultant and helping out with the brand too. So we're both moving there, and we just got our house. We're literally 5 minutes from the office, which is we're
Oh,
so happy
that's so
about.
cool.
So easy to get there. Anyhow, so that's a big change. That got us thinking, because Christina's like, well, you know what? The big concern is that some people might think, well, then that means Lashcon was bought by PLA or was bought by Michelle, and some people might be concerned that integrity of Lashcon has been compromised. And to make sure that we don't do that and then protect Lashcon, we thought, why don't we have an advisory board? And that advisory board will be there is to keep us in check, to help make sure what we're doing is good, make sure it's serving the community, make sure they're also they will act as the boots on the ground, so to speak, and be at the conference, giving us feedback when it's over and helping us know, like, did that work? Did that not work? Why did Paul do this? Why did Paul do that? Like, just here to make sure that we keep Lashcon the belonging to the Lash community. And so Lashcon, with this new advisory board, and Shelby is on the board. She's one of our members, like 15 members, ranging from big brands like Lash Box LA. We have Nikki from Lash Box. We have Allie from Lash Anarchist / Lash Bomb. We have Jamie from Lash Base. Then we also have people like Reggie from Unfold Aesthetics. So we have some smaller brands. We have Lightheart Lash, Maddie and Elliot. We wanted to have both big brands, small brands, and we wanted lash artists. So we have people like Kelsey Sparrows, who's our MC, is also, as well as some of our staff.
And there's also an opportunity for one of you guys.
Yeah, there'll be an application for next year. We will, or later
apply
this year, you can apply. Here's the thing: you have to go to Lashcon. You can't be, I'll be on the board, but never go to Lashcon. That is not going to fly. You actually have to be on a big fan,
contributing to the lash industry in any way. And if that's you and you have a heart, to see the success of Lashcon continue to grow, we would love to have you on the board or apply.
So that's one big thing. So we are moving to Tad. We brought the board to help guide us, and then we came up with another idea. Well, long term, as I'm not getting younger, which I know goes contrary to everyone's thoughts, because I am like Dorian Gray. But that said, we have basically a new person who is going to come into the fold to help take the mantle and run with this for the next, hopefully 10, 20, 30 years. And that is our friend Shelby. We've offered her the opportunity to come along us, and in the next coming years, she's going to be slowly getting more involved in leadership, for instance, like the board right now, and more involved in operations with the plan. We're calling this the letter of intent that eventually Shelby would buy, purchase, and run Lashcon.
We're just preparing, we're preparing to hand the mantle over, when that time comes. I mean, it's not right now, but we're just, when you think about your own mortality and you want to make sure you're preparing, you're preparing for your estate, you're preparing for your kids. In some ways, the lash industry, it's a legacy. We want to make sure that the momentum that we're creating with Lashcon is going to continue when we're no longer part of it. Like I say to many of you when I meet you, you guys are going to carry on when we're no longer able to do so. So part of that is making sure that we have somebody at the helm that's going to be able to make sure that this industry is taken care of, and that Lashcon is a force to continue to inspire growth.
And it makes sense. I mean, in the beginning, we talked about all the commonality and the things that we both do. And I'm like, when we were like thinking about, wow, we really do need to think about the long term for Lashcon. Who can really run with it? And there was only one person that came to mind. It was Shelby. And now the question was, would Shelby be interested? Like, I was like, well, we can ask her, but I don't know if she has any desire to. I don't want to ever sell it to. I mean, there are people out there, investment banks or VCs, or people who would like to take over projects and pull all the money out of it, right? And I didn't want to head off to someone like that. I wanted it to be run by a lash artist, someone who loves the industry,
to make sure that it's going to continue to serve people, with the same heart that we have.
So that's when we approached her, and thank God Shelby was like, you know what? I actually love to run Lashcon. That would be awesome. So I mean, obviously, we don't have any of the details. That's why I say it's more of a letter of intent. This is the direction we're going, and I don't have any real doubts that we won't get there. But
It's a process. It's
we
going
don't
to
have,
take some time,
yeah, we don't
but
have any exact details like exactly on this day is what's going to happen. It's more like, yeah, in the coming years, and hopefully when and we're right now. The big thing I want to do for Shelby and whoever would take, I have to codify Lashcon. Everything has to be written down. The systems all have to be put in place, and I know Shelby is a systems person like us because that's what. But when we ran salons, we all believe what the systems they have.
shout out to
Yeah,
strategies.
strategies is awesome. And we're trying to do the same thing for events right now. We're saying, what are the best practices for events that all events should do, that we need to do? And we have a playbook that you can every year just open up the playbook. All the things when they need to be done will be in that playbook so that Shelby, when she takes over, won't have to reinvent the wheel. She'll just keep the ship going in the same direction without having to really change much. And just, she'll have her own creativity and her own ideas and she'll take it in her directions. I have a feeling Harry Potter at some point will be involved. That said, it'll be Shelby's at some point, and I think it will continue on. And we plan to still be involved. We don't plan on going away. Some people are like, so does it mean you leave?
Oh,
Like, no, no,
no,
no. Part of
no.
the
We're
deal is
part of
that we
this.
get to be part of Lashcon, permanent residents of Lashcon, whether we own it or not. We want to be part of it. So we love it, and we will support it, and we will shout it from the mountaintops and help it any way we
It's
can.
our baby,
Yeah.
but we just want to make sure that it's going to be able to grow and continue to serve.
Yes.
Yeah, I am so excited about this. I said this on the podcast that we did on y'all's podcast, the
Yeah.
episode that we did. And I said that I would love for Lashcon to feel the same. Like it has its own personality, and Lash Boss Summit has a different personality, and I would like for those to kind of remain and them
Yeah.
not to become like copies of
One.
each other. And
Yeah.
I think that this is also a big full circle moment for us, because I remember when you told me you were starting Lashcon years ago, and I was so excited for you guys. I remember I almost got teary-eyed just being so excited for y'all and knowing that I knew it was going to be big, and I knew it was going to be so well run. And I think that with my experience in Lash Boss Summit and the other things that I do too, I'm just excited to kind of do this next chapter. And it's just I couldn't love this scenario more. And I'm just really honored and really grateful for you guys.
Yeah, and we have a great team, and my prayer and hope is that this team, just because maybe ownership, as the next couple of years changes, that they would be like, oh, it won't want to be around. These people love Lashcon. They love it. I think sometimes more than I do. Like they really want to fight for Lashcon. I feel like I have an army. If I had to take over and attack another event, they would do that with me. They're like, oh yeah, we think Lashcon's the best thing. So what's cool about it is that the continuity will stay because, like I said, we're not going away. We're not going to be just like, well, we'll just go and sit in a retirement home and play knit, but we will be still involved in some ways. And our team will too. I mean, Christina and Francesca and Ella are committed. We have Shandara, we have Becca, we have Nicole, we have Sophia. I mean, there's an army of people who love Lashcon, and they wanted to see us succeed and grow because it's made a blessing in their life, and they see the blessing it's made in other people's lives. And I think that's what most people get excited. Is like, yeah, it's helped me, but what I love serving and being part of Lashcon is I know I'm changing other people's lives. I'm investing and helping other people, and that's such a rewarding place to be. And it's so much. It's so much fun too. Just everyone in the group is amazing.
Yes, and y'all have like somebody for the volunteers. You have somebody for the swag bags. You have somebody always in charge. Like you see the same people every single year that
Yeah.
you go to Lashcon. And I've been every single year, and I've said this before that I am such a fan of Lashcon as just an attendee. Like I have gone every year. I will continue to do that, and every single year I feel like I see the exact same faces, and everyone's in their little posts and doing their job. And it's great. And I can't wait to get to know them more too and work with them too.
Yeah, they're easy to work with people. They're caring.
They're
They're loving. Yeah,
superstars.
they're also. I mean, when we
Amber and
first started getting
Kayla
that,
and Lourdes
yeah,
and Valerie and I know I'm forgetting other people.
no, and Kylie, yeah,
Yes.
they all first came on. We did an interview process. I mean, I looked for applications. Some people like Kayla came on back in the beginning, very beginning, but and Sophia too. But others, in fact, Sophia came on because we were doing our swag bag, and she came and goes, "I can really do this better than
Oh, are
you."
we separate? No, honestly, I mean, I was at the helm of the first one, and me at the helm was a
It was a
disaster. So
disaster. So Sophia came in and said, "Let me run this for you because you need some help." And she did. And so that's the type of ownership I get from everyone on the team. We just got really, really blessed and lucky, I feel like, because I didn't like interview 1,000 people. These people came and interviewed a few. There are a few that didn't get
people
picked, but
just
it was just amazing.
came alongside us and just helped where we needed, and
You
they
attract your tribe.
served.
You attract your tribe. And we're just very, very blessed and thankful for that. So yeah, we can't wait for them to come along, stick a lot around, work with you. We'll, as these coming years go, we'll unpack it more. And as we discuss how can we, slowly bring you more on board. I'm assuming next year we'll definitely have you more involved in the whole setup process. So you'll start to see how we do it. And then, we don't have an exact year, but we're thinking maybe 2 years. It could maybe 3 years, whatever it is. When we feel like part of it is I just want to make sure I'm handing off Lashcon that's most healthy. Like I want to make sure when I say, "Here you go, Shelby," it's not like, "Oh, it's dying." Like I'm giving you a dead event or event that makes no money or event that doesn't have a draw or isn't fun anymore. Right. That would be a horrible thing. So I feel like I'm tweaking it. I'm playing with things. I'm trying the best practices so that by the time we're in the next year or so, that's all done. It'll be really like, okay, here it is. I really have a playbook. We have a schedule. We have a calendar. Everything's in place. Even if we change hotels, it's okay. You can change hotels and do the same thing all over again. So
Mhm.
that's coming. It's almost done. That's why I'm working like 80 hours right now because I'm literally not only am I planning LashCon, we're writing the playbook as we go. So it's been a crazy year.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and doing this episode with me. I am so excited for LashCon this year and years to come. And yeah, you guys are always fun guests to have.
Oh, thank you, Shelby. And you're the best. We love you and we think the world of you. And we love working with you and can't wait now to do something really exciting. And that's partner with you with LashCon. I think that's going to make the industry better. I think a lot of people are going to be very excited. In fact, I think everyone I know will be super excited about this. Like sometimes you're afraid, will people like this? Will they not like this? No, no, this is gonna be like, oh my gosh, this makes total sense. Shelby is amazing. And we couldn't give it to a better person.
Thank you so much.